If you have kids and you live in a small space with like not a real actual entry area, and you are looking for a way to store your family's shoes without all of the shoes ending up in a pile and posing a tripping hazard right in front of your front door, then today's video is for you. I'm Danny. I am married to Gabe, and we have 4 small kids. 3 of them are walkers that actually use shoes, and we live in a 650 square foot cottage, and this is how we do our family's shoe storage. So I'm going to do this just real kind of vlog style, hold my phone and show you how the system works, because there's a couple different parts to it. The first part is I'm standing outside of our front door here, and we have like a covered area on our deck. So we have a big deck, and then a little part of it is covered right outside of our front door. So in that covered area against the back wall, we have command hooks that hold all of our kids' Crocs. And then we have these 2 shoe racks. So out here we keep the kids' boots and then most of my husband's and my shoes. So my husband and I both have a pair of Birkenstocks. I have a pair of rain boots and 2 running shoes. One are new and the other are really old. I probably just need to get rid of them. And my husband has his work boots, some nicer boots, and then his Crocs and his running shoes. Actually, he has 2 pair of running shoes there too. Don't know why we have 2. We probably need to downsize. And then his Birks as well. So I think one of our kids has an extra set of Crocs because they came like a hand-me-down, and we probably need to downsize that too. So I guess part of this is constantly editing and downsizing what you don't actually need. But this is the outdoor area. So then just inside our front door, washing comforters here, just inside our front door, we have this 4-cube shelf that I just picked up at Kmart, because we're in New Zealand and there's a Kmart here. And we have one storage bin, it's a cloth storage bin. I don't know if they're called bins or baskets, but one of them for each child. So let me pull out. This is our 2.5-year-old son's bin. He has a pair of kind of nice tennis shoes, a pair of new, we just had to get these kind of play trainer running shoes, and these are about to be too small for him, so I need to downsize those. He also has ballet shoes from his sisters because he loves to do ballet with them when they do ballet. So each child has usually a pair of nice shoes, a pair of tennis shoes, play shoes, and then their Crocs and their boots. And then my girls have a couple others. I think they both have a pair of sandals. One of them has a pair of very old ratty ballet flats that have usually just been like hand-me-downs or things that, you know, somebody has, a grandparent or something has purchased for them or somebody has given to them that they love, and that's fine. As long as everything fits inside the shoe bin, then it works for us. So each child has one of these. When our almost walker begins to walk, he will get the last one, but they're messy inside. They're not necessarily aesthetic and pretty, and that is totally okay. I'm having a little bit of a hard time putting that in because I want my kids to not have to stress too much about keeping things super picture perfect or aesthetic or whatever. However, I am somebody that really gets overstimulated by a lot of visual clutter. And so I need to have something that looks a little bit cleaner from the outside. And that's why these bins work super well for us, because the kids can easily pull them off the shelf. They can chuck their shoes in. They can dig through and grab their shoes. They don't have so many pairs of shoes that it's hard to keep track of them. And then they go back on the shelf when they're done, and we do not end up with a bunch of shoes right here in front of our front door where everybody's tripping on them, and we do not end up with shoes being worn all over the house or being left in other places in the house. We're kind of a no shoes in the house family, so typically when everybody comes home, we just take our shoes off once we're home, and that is how things operate. So we don't have any kids' shoes in their bedrooms. I don't like having a shoe rack right inside my front door because I feel like there's something about kids get kind of lazy about putting their shoes on the shoe rack. door just shut behind us. And it ends up being shoes that are left on the floor in front of the shoe rack. But if everybody has a bin, they know where their shoes go exactly. And that just works pretty well for us. So I do have four more pair of shoes in a box on the top of my closet that are my dress shoes. So I have a pair of like kind of winter dress shoes, summer dress shoes, a pair of kind of dressy sandals, and then the last pair is kind of a pair of like canvas sneakers. It's wintertime here right now, and so it's sometimes rainy, so I'm not going to wear my nice canvas sneakers. That's more of like a summertime thing. So I keep my off-season or rarely used shoes up on a box in the top of my closet. But other than that, that is all of our shoes. That's how our family utilizes our shoe system to keep the front door relatively clear. And even though we really do not, I'll take a couple steps forward, we do not have a big entry area, we make it work, and it's perfectly functional for our family. So I hope that that is helpful for you if you live in a small space with kids and are trying to figure out how to manage the shoes. I do think one of my top tips is just try to minimize the amount of shoes that you have. Even having like 4 sets of shoes for each child feels like kind of a lot to me. And I definitely could minimize my shoes, and my husband could probably minimize his shoes. So after I close off this camera and go talk to my toddler who's outside because he wants more food, it's his snack time, I'm gonna probably go through and get rid of some of my shoes. But thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day and happy organizing your small space.